Welcome to the viewers of today's VCM Commodity Market and Risk Management on 31st, organized by Committee for Capital Market and Investors Protection. And it's a very informative session. I think it's a need of hour. Today this exchange is growing up and a lot of hope is with the market in this pandemic situation. We have with us the learned speaker for the day from MCX, Ashish ji. We have the presence of Honorable Chairman, Committee for Capital Market and Investors Protection, Sri Anuj Goyal ji with us, and hosting branch office bearers from Bareilly branch of CIC of ICI. Now I request CA Sudhir Malhotra ji, Chairman Bareilly branch of CIC of ICI, for his welcome address.
थैंक यू भैया। सबसे पहले इस वर्चुअल सीपी मीटिंग में आप सभी का मेरी तरफ से सादर वंदन, अभिनंदन। हमारे साथ में हैं हमारे अनुज गोयल जी, जो कि चेयरमैन हैं कमेटी ऑफ कैपिटल मार्केटिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोजेक्ट प्रोटेक्शंस के। मैं आपका हृदय से स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। आपकी और बरेली ब्रांच की ओर से जो आपने इतना अच्छा प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज कराया, उसके लिए आपकी बहुत बहुत आभार। और आपने जो हमारी इस प्रोग्राम को कराने में सहायता करी, आपकी अपनी गर्मामयी उपस्थिति देने की हमारी प्रार्थना को आपने स्वीकारा, आपका बहुत बहुत आभार और धन्यवाद। स्वागत की श्रेणी में आगे साथी हैं हमारे स्पीकर रुचि शुक्ला जी, जो कि हेड एनर्जी MCX इंडिया लिमिटेड के हेड हैं। आपका हमारी ओर से विशेष स्वागत और सत्कार है। आपने हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में एज ए मुख्य वक्ता होना स्वीकार किया, इसके लिए आपका विशेष आभार और स्वागत। स्वागत की श्रृंखला में आगे हमारे जो कंक्लूडिंग स्पीकर्स हैं श्री अजय चेरा जी, आपका भी जो कि इस मार्केटिंग के अपने आप में एक चेहरा माने जाते हैं कैपिटल मार्केट के बारे उसमें, आपने इस मीटिंग में हमारा पार्ट होना स्वीकार किया, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और स्वागत है। और इसी श्रेणी में आगे हम अपने सभी उपस्थित चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, सारे सीनियर्स और सबका मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं कि आपने इस मीटिंग में आकर के जो हमारा हौसला अफजाई की और जो मार्गदर्शन आप अनुज गोयल जी ने हमारा इस प्रोग्राम के लिए किया, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है। और इसी के साथ साथ मैं आगे के प्रोग्राम के लिए आपको आमंत्रित करता हूँ। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, Chairman sir, for your nice welcome address. A brief and very motivating welcome address. It's really a wonderful webinar. VCM we will be having on commodity market and risk management. So unfortunately, the speaker aligned for the day, Ruchi Shukla ji, due to this corona, I think she is not able to join today. So we have a speaker today, Mr. Ashish ji, is a product manager of MCX, and for welcome address, this opening remarks, I would request Chairman. Before that, I take this opportunity, although he don't require any formal introduction, but it's my, I think, it's a protocol of the VCM, and for the new persons, because it's other stakeholders also joined this program. So I take this opportunity to introduce my own chairman, CA Anuj Goyal ji, who is the chairman of Capital Market Committee and Investors Protection Committee. He is also chairman of Research Committee, and it's the 5th term of CA Anuj Goyal in the Council of ICI. And from his early age, he started his contribution towards the profession. And 6 years he spent in the branch in various capacities. Then he...
1 second. Ritesh ji, we are having the presence of other members also, no?
So my chairman is the member of all the 3 institutes. He is a CA, CS, ICWA, and he's DSA, DRM, and LLB, and MCOM. So a lot of qualification he has in his credit. And sir has contributed not less than 20 years or 2 decades for the profession. And a lot of there to describe about our visionary president, visionary chairman, C. Anuj Goyal ji. C. Anuj ji chaired this committee in way back in 2014 also. That time, Ministry of Corporate Affairs awarded the appreciation letter to the committee for excellent work in the field of investors protection. This year also, we would be receiving such kind of appreciation from various stakeholders. This year, we are planning mega corporate conclaves across the country. Around 30 programs we are thinking for this year. And in this mega corporate conclave, we are seeking the help of MCX, BSC, NSC, all mutual funds, MCA, SEBI, and various stakeholders. It would be an innovative kind of idea. Therein, it's the whole idea is generated by our chairman, C. Anuj Goyal ji. It is really, I'm proud to say that I served with him in various committees as a secretary to the committee. And wherever he is as a chairman, he took the committee at a next level. So this year, I think wonders would be there in this capital market committee again. So with these words, because we have the presence of honorable chairman, so I humbly request chairman to give opening remarks. Over to chairman, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Amit Agarwal ji, our young and dynamic secretary of Committee on Capital Market and Investors Protection. I welcome our honorable guest speaker, Ashish Bhaktani sir, product manager MCX, and of course we are having the chairman of the host branch, Bareilly branch, C. Sudhir Malhotra sir. Welcome Sudhir Malhotra sir, and two illustrious past chairman of Bareilly branch, C.A. Prakash Sharma sir and C.A. Ritesh Agarwal ji. I welcome Honorable Prakash Chand Sharma ji and C.A. Ritesh Agarwal ji on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, on behalf of Committee on Capital Market and Investors Protection. And of course, I welcome C.A. Sarthak Agarwal ji, Vice Chairman of the Bareilly branch, and C.A. Sumit Agarwal ji, the Executive Committee member of the Bareilly branch, and all the honorable viewers present here. And we are having the presence of Mr. Kunal Sharma, Senior Officer of the ICAI, and Om Prakash ji from the Committee on Capital Markets and Investors Protection. Friends, today we are having this very, very important virtual CP meeting on very, very important topic on commodity market and risk management. I think chartered accountants are the best suited professionals who are having in-depth knowledge of the capital market. And you will be very happy to know that in the very first meeting of the Committee on Capital Market and Investors Protection, we have taken a very, very important decision that the chartered accountants who are in practice, whether they are proprietor, whether they are the partner of any CA firm or the LLP, they can be in full-time practice, and in addition to that, they can very well have the income from derivatives, equity derivatives. And friends, this decision, I think it is so important for the professionals, because if any professional chartered accountant who is the expert in the capital market and he do make his own investment in the derivatives, so I think sky is the limit for and friends, now even if we are having 10 crores of income from derivatives, a practicing chartered accountant can be a whole-time practitioner, as a proprietor, as a partner, and full credit will be there in the C&AG, full credit will be there in the bank audit, and one can have the attest function and can very well do the tax audits and the company audits. So Committee on Capital Markets and Investors Protection is very, very proactive and want to see that the best accounting professionals across the globe, the chartered accountants, who are the only professionals who are having the expertise of the capital market, should be the leader of the capital market. And from MCX, we are having Ashish Bhaktani ji. See, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, I think is one of the very, very good name in the field of capital market, and he is the member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So I think the chartered accountants can very well play a very, very important role in the field of capital market, whether they are in practice and whether they are in employment. And we are having two certificate, very, very important certificate courses also for the chartered accountants, so that they can sharpen their skills in the field of capital market. Friends, the Committee on Capital Markets and Investor Protection has been entrusted with various responsibilities like providing suggestions on various bills, regulations, notifications, circulars, and other documents relating to capital market for submission to the government regulator, initiating research studies in the field of capital market and investors protection, conducting training programs for members and others on matters relating to capital and commodity markets. On matters, the Committee on Capital Market and Investor Protection works in the area promoting investors protection by nurturing capacity and competency development of members and stakeholders in the capital market. So we are organizing a number of programs with the help with the support of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and we intend to have a number of programs in each and every part of the country for the investors protection and dissemination of the knowledge in the field of the capital market. The committee will be actively working in the area of financial literacy. I think the dream project of the president of the institute for the development of economy through various initiatives to educate and empower citizens. For the first time, we are taking this dream project of the financial literacy. I welcome Sanjay Agrawal ji also.
Yes, sir.
The committee also works to develop a competitive workforce for capital market and corporate through its various learning initiatives like workshop and training programs on capital market. It conducts two flagship certificate courses for professional development of members in the field of forex and treasury management and derivatives. So I will request all our honorable members who are live with us in this virtual CP program that please go for these certificate courses, very, very important certificate courses for the chartered accountants, whether they are in employment, whether they are in practice, to sharpen their skills in the field of capital market, the forex and treasury management certificate course and the certification course on derivatives. And friends, I have already communicated that we have taken a very, very important decision on the derivatives, that the income from the derivatives, from the equity can be there for the practicing chartered accountant, and one will be very well there in full-time practice as a proprietor or as partner, besides having the income from equity derivatives. Friends, you all are aware of the fact that just like equity market and debt market, commodity is also an attractive asset class. However, of course, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India still has not accepted the suggestion of the Committee on Capital Market that even the income from the derivatives from commodities market can also be considered for the practicing chartered accountants. But as of now, we have taken the decision that derivative income from equity market will be allowed for the practicing chartered accountant. Friends, commodity market is an integral part of the financial market, and commodity futures are highly leveraged investments, which means with a relatively small amount of money, you can take a bigger bet. Commodity future markets generally are very liquid, which means entry and exit are easy. Commodity futures can potentially give huge profits if traded carefully and smartly, as there are always two sides to the same coin. Commodity markets are volatile. Direct investment in the commodities markets is of high risk, especially for new investors. The increasing volatility of prices and complexity of commodity markets make risk an especially critical factor of business performance than ever before. Market forces can generate large price fluctuations, often surpassing other indices, including foreign exchange and equity markets, resulting in dramatic movements in a company's financial performance. Commodity markets have also become more complex with new participants entering to profit from this volatility and regulators implementing changes to the ways in which these markets are controlled. The commodity ecosystem is constantly evolving. Therefore, it is strategically important for companies to recognize and manage these risks and volatility effectively. Commodity risk management is essential to mitigate those risks that are part and parcel of commodity trading. Friends, commodity risk management means reducing uncertainty by controlling those factors that can be controlled, since it is impossible to predict the outcome of an uncertain event. Risks are inevitable and it is best to be prepared for their possibility. Today we learn about the mitigating risk in commodity trading, and same has importance both for corporate as well as for individuals. Understanding the commodities and risk management will provide the members a lot of knowledge. I take the pleasure in welcoming the dynamic speaker of the day, Mr. Ashish Bhaktani ji, Product Manager MCX, to enlighten all our honorable members regarding commodity market and risk management. So I once again welcome all our honorable leaders of the profession from Bareilly branch and all our honorable viewers present here. And may I request CA Prakash Chand Sharma ji, Chairman Sikasa Bareilly branch, for the introduction of Mr. Ashish Bhaktani from MCX. Over to CA Prakash Chand Sharma ji.
Thank you, Anuj ji. I am privileged to speak out a formal introduction of our learned speaker of the day, Mr. Ashish Bhaktani ji, Product Manager MCX India. Mr. Bhaktani is associated with Multi-Commodity Exchange of India MCX since 2007, and he is over 20 years of experience. He managed relationship with more than 100 large member and broking houses pan-India and corporates in financial sectors. He is responsible for promoting the energy contract, aiding in setting up corporate hedging desks for risk management, contract designing and promotion, launching of new commodities, and arranging of MUs with corporates, associations, and seminar for promoting future contracts, interaction with the regulators, etc. He is a learned speaker and he is a postgraduate MBA Finance in MET, Mumbai. Thank you. With this, I present the speaker of the day, Ashish Bhaktani.
Thank you. So may I request our honorable guest speaker, Ashish Bhaktani ji, Product Manager MCX, for his words of wisdom, please, for his address.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At the outset, MCX would like to thank ICI and especially CA Anuj Goyal ji, Chairman, Capital Market and Investor Protection. We also like to thank the Secretary, Amit Agarwal, and also Mr. CA Sudhir Mehrotra ji for his valuable presence, and also Past President CA Prakash Sharma. And we would like to take this opportunity to, first of all, thank Goyal ji for sharing his valuable thoughts and insights on the commodity price risk management. Now, I would like to just start out by giving you a brief presentation on the fundamentals and commodity price risk management. Yes, thank you. So we'll start out with the presentation on the commodity price risk, the markets and risk management. Now, to start out with, as we are all aware that commodity markets has seen inception in November 2003 under the aegis of Foreign Market Commission, and then we had various contracts which were listed on the platform, which I would like to throw light upon. Now, my presentation flow will basically revolve around four aspects. One is the exchange overview and mechanism, commodity contracts at MCX, risk management mechanism, and process flow for starting hedging on MCX. Now, to start out with, we have the exchange overview and mechanism on commodity derivatives. Firstly, we would like to highlight the main commodities which are listed on the MCX platform. Starting with the precious metals, we have gold, silver, we have the gold mini contract, we have the silver mini contract. We also have gold Guinea and gold petal contracts, which are the small contracts for retail investors. Then we have the base metal contracts for the corporates who are exposed to the pricing of metals. We have aluminum, copper, lead, nickel, and zinc. Then we have the energy contracts, which are which is crude oil and natural gas. And then we have the agri commodities, which are cotton, crude palm oil, cardamom, and spices complex. Now, as far as the MCX overview is concerned and performance is concerned, the commodity market share in the financial year first half financial year 2021, MCX commands a market share of 97%, which is the leading listed exchange in the Indian context. Now, we also have extensive reach, which you can see is 681 members, which are registered with the exchange with authorized persons, and 31 lakh 75,000 terminals, which are spread across 1,037 cities in India. Also, we have the UCC, or the unique client codes, which is 46 lakh more than 46 lakhs UCCs across India. Now, key milestones which I want to highlight for MCX is that we launched the bullion index and the metal index futures, which are very successful and are which after which we also came up with the new segment on options on goods contract, underlying being the spot gold contract. Then we also had an agricultural contract in the form of natural rubber. That's on the key milestones which we went through the MCX platform. As far as the futures turnover on the trading statistics is concerned on MCX, crude oil and natural gas, the energy contracts are the front-running contracts with nearly 50% share in the turnover of futures market on MCX, followed by gold and silver, the bullion complex, and of course we have the base metal complex, which comprises of aluminum, copper, lead, nickel, and zinc, and other agri contracts as well. Now, on the regulatory front, we have SEBI, which is since September 28, 2015, has been the regulator for MCX under Ministry of Finance. And since October 2017, MCX commenced operations on options on gold, silver, crude oil, copper, and zinc. And then we also had integration of intermediaries for equity and commodity derivatives segment. And then we came up with the, SEBI came up with the universal exchanges concept, the single exchange operating various segments like the stock exchanges. Now, as far as commodity trading is concerned, it's a very attractive proposition in terms of the kind of liquidity which is there on the contracts, especially on the bullion, base metal, and the energy contracts. It can provide a great amount of diversification, which we'll see ahead, how the equity markets and the bullion, especially the gold contract, is spanning out. Then we have the main factor, which is the inflation hedge, which can be carried out using commodity derivatives. And it is very transparent for trading, and you have a high leverage, which you can take on the commodity platform on MCX. Now, coming to the multiple functions of the exchange traded products, which we have on the platform, are basically the commodity derivative markets have these main 5 features, which is price discovery, price risk management, facilitating physical trade, uh, enhancing credit flow, and as an asset class. Now, as we are all aware, the derivative contracts are all traded on the exchange, are all standardized contracts. Then they have counterparties, which you cannot customize these contracts. Sorry. Uh, Predominantly, these are online markets, highly liquid and cost comparatively much lesser compared to the other markets because of the lower transaction charges and the exchange transaction charges, which are not there on the options contract. Now, here is a chart which we have depicted on the commodity versus equity market, especially on the Nifty 50 and the MCX Gold contract. Now, the orange line denotes the Nifty 50 contract, and MCX Gold is denoted by the blue line, which you can see that the relationship between Nifty and the MCX Gold is not moving in tandem. As you can see, when the equity markets are rising, you tend to see that the gold markets don't behave in similar lines. So there is a case for diversification by trading in commodities and also hedging in commodity market. Now, as far as the commodity contracts are concerned, we have the bullion contracts which are listed on the platform, which are basically the gold contract, the gold mini, gold guinea, gold petal, silver mini, and silver micro. The major 2 contracts are the gold contract, which is a 1 kg contract, silver contract, which is a 30 kg contracts, and then you have smaller denomination contracts trading on the platform. Tick size for all of them is ₹1, and expiry day for the contract of is the 5th day of the month following the expiry, following the contract, which is, for example, if it is contract is expiring on the 5th of every of the month, so it is 5th April when the contract expires for gold and also for silver. These contracts are all compulsory delivery contracts. So once you enter into the contract on expiry day, you will have to give or take delivery based on your position which you have undertaken. The delivery lot size is also similar to the trading lot, which is 1 kg, and for the silver contract is also 30 kg. For the gold mini contract is 100 grams, similar to the trading lot of 100 grams. And gold guinea and gold petal are also 8 grams and 1 gram respectively. Now, there is a staggered delivery mechanism which has been followed on the platform since December and October 19 for December 19 for gold and silver, and for individual contracts since October and November 2019. As far as the base metal contracts are concerned, all the price quotations for the base metal contracts are in rupees per kg. The trading lot is 5 metric ton for aluminium, copper is 2.5, lead is 5 metric ton, nickel 1.5, and zinc is 5 metric ton. Now, the expiry is on the last day of the month, so 30th or 31st based on the month which we are in. Delivery is compulsory. Again, here is logic is compulsory delivery, with against the delivery lot matching with the trading lot. And again, even here we have the staggered delivery mechanism of trading 5 days trading with effect from October 2019. Agri contracts, we have front running cotton contract, crude palm oil contract, mentha oil, and cardamom and other spices contract, which are listed on the platform. All these contracts are compulsory contracts except crude palm oil contract and kapas, which are both options contract, which means only if there is a buyer and seller intention is matching, then the contract will go through for delivery. With this contract, the expiry dates for individual contracts for cotton, crude palm oil, mentha oil is last day of the contract month, and for staggered delivery contracts, we have 15th for cardamom is 15th, for castor seed is 20th, and pepper also is 20th. All these contracts are exclusive of GST and all taxes and levies, so import duty and local taxes if any. On the energy contract front, we have the energy futures contract, which are crude oil futures and crude oil options contract, the natural gas contract, which is the futures contract as well. The options contract is on a 100 barrel lot size, crude oil futures is on a 100 barrel lot size, and the natural gas is 1250 MMBtu. The contract value for crude oil contract works out to really 4,14,000, and for a natural gas contract it works out to 2,77,500. The applicable margin is basically again ranging between 10 to 20% for the crude oil contract and 10% for the natural gas contract. All these three contracts are cash settled, and they follow the NYMEX or the CME group WTI crude oil contract, which is a mirror with mirrors, and also the natural gas contract is linked to the Henry Hub US contract. Now, coming to the crude oil, natural gas, and value chain, we see that the crude oil and natural gas products or commodities are explored in the middle of the sea, or also on rock formation, also in sand, and then they are processed and transported, and of course they are refined into various byproducts, which are furnace oil, naphtha, bitumen, and diesel, petrol, and then they go in for marketing. So CNG is where it reaches the petrol pumps for supply through for CNG, and for petrol and diesel through petrol pumps. Now, coming to the main aspect of the presentation is the risk management mechanism on commodity derivatives. As Goelji also was pointing out in his speech, that there is one aspect which is very important which is very critical and which is faced by all the corporates, whether big or small, or traders, is the uncertainty. Now, uncertainty in price in today's scenario is very, very because there are many unfavorable situations which arise in the market. Now, take for example the recent Suez Canal. In the Suez Canal, the ship which was stuck for many days had caused havoc in prices in crude oil, because the crude oil prices were fluctuating between 8 to 10% on the upside and the downside. So based on this, the corporates have to face the brunt of volatile prices due to these unforeseen scenarios. Now, once the Suez Canal issue was solved, now crude oil prices came down, owing to the supply constraint being removed. So main context of this is that the price today, the price at which we are stationed today, we don't know which direction it is likely to move and what scenario will affect the prices going ahead. So that's the reason why we need to undertake commodity price risk management very seriously. Now, commodity price risk management has got its important aspect, which is risk to industries. Benefits are basically protecting margins, securing budgets, mitigating extreme volatility, and of course, in today's competitive world, we have the situation where one cannot do away with reducing the sale price of the commodity, because there is a lot of competition in the market. So staying competitive is very important, and this can be managed by locking in the price of crude oil or natural gas using the derivatives market. Now, it also enhances the enterprise value because it stabilizes cash flows vis-a-vis, volatile profit and loss swings, which will help to minimize organization value and better manage budgets. Now, here is a chart which we are talking about on the volatility in natural gas and crude oil prices. As you can see that the annualized volatility in currency market in the last 6 years has ranged from 4 to 7%, whereas the annualized volatility in the crude oil and the natural gas prices has ranged from just give me a moment, please. Yeah, thank you. So as I was mentioning about the the uncertainty prices which are there and very unforeseen scenarios can be faced by the corporates. So that is where the hedging mechanism or the hedging strategy will come into picture and take the benefit, and corporates can take the benefit of using the hedging model. Now, protecting margins, securing budgets, minimizing volatility, and staying competitive is the benefits one can partake by actually hedging into the commodity derivatives market. Now, as you can see in this chart, that there is this volatility which is for the currency market, which is ranging from 4 to 7%, and that is vis-a-vis the annualized volatility which can be seen in the crude oil and natural gas contract, ranging from 24% to nearly 95%, and then also in the natural gas contract from 38% to 48%, which can be seen in the chart which is depicted here. Now, one hedging example we have taken over here of how we can actually lock in the monthly consumption of hedging the crude oil contract or your exposure. If the, for example, if the we are standing on 1st December in the example over here given out here, and the spot market price is ruling at 3,800 vis-a-vis futures price which is quoting at 4,000 rupees a barrel. Now, for locking in the future monthly consumption going ahead, what the corporate can do is lock in the price of in the MCX crude oil contract by buying a futures contract at 4,000 rupees a barrel, and vis-a-vis the volatility which is witnessed during the month, assuming that the price on 31st December in the spot market rises to 4,100, the futures market price is also moved in tandem to 4,200. Now, this price rise in the spot market will be negated by the price which is savings which has been entailed into the futures market, because the corporate has locked in the crude oil contract on the MCX platform at 4,000 rupees per barrel. So on 31st December, what he will do is he will sell out the close out the crude oil contract, futures contract, at a profit of 200 rupees per barrel. So by actually, had he not locked in the price on the futures market, he would be facing a loss of rupees 300 rupees per barrel, which now has been negated by actually locking in the futures contract at 200 rupees per barrel. Now, another example which we have placed over here is if a corporate is importing natural gas into the country, he is utilizing natural gas for his monthly consumption, which he wants on 1st of January. So then, if the price on 1st December is ruling at 190 in the spot market, and futures price is for crude oil is 3,800. Now, what we are doing over here is we are locking in the natural gas price on the crude oil contract, because natural gas prices can be are priced on the crude oil contract in the international market. So if you can also lock in the natural gas prices using the crude oil contract. Now, as far as this scenario also is concerned, 1st December is the price which is 190 rupees per MMBTU, and futures price on for crude oil is rupees 3,800 per barrel. Now, on 31st December, the price of natural gas has moved up by 10 rupees per MMBTU, vis-a-vis an escalation rise also in the futures market for crude oil prices. Now, because the corporate has locked in the crude oil contract at 3,800, he has made a saving of 200 rupees per barrel, which will again offset the increase in the price of the natural gas in the spot market. Now, one slide which is talking about the hedging life cycle over here, which is basically the risk management life cycle. So here, the first important point is to identify the risk exposure, which is the commodity you need to hedge. Secondly, is the quantity which needs to be aggregated or consolidated. Needs to understand how much is the quantity and when to hedge, what is the entry point, and actually hedging using the also assessing the risk appetite, and also the strategy which is involved, which for entailing hedging transaction. Then comes the execution part. Once you have executed the contract, it is very important to assess or assess the price, assess the performance of the hedging strategy, and if required, then it can be modified or changed so that it can actually go in for better risk management in the next month, which can be done. Now, from the regulator side, the SEBI has enhanced the listing disclosure for listed companies with regard to commodity price risk management. Now, listed companies have to disclose price risk and commodity hedging activities in their annual reports. Now, this can be seen in this format is given in this table on the right side, which shows the commodity name, the commodity exposure in rupee terms, and of course the quantity amount which is the quantity of the commodity which is in which they are exposed to, whether they are hedging in the domestic or the international market, whether in the OTC or the exchange platform. So this is the key initiative taken by SEBI for promoting hedging among corporates, whether it is MSME, mid-size, or whether it is listed companies on the exchange platform. Now, for the process flow is very important for understanding how to actually go about starting hedging. So one is identifying the product for risk exposure, then quantifying and assessing, preparation of hedging proposal and policy, which is again designing the hedging proposal based on the requirement of the company, keeping in line also with the exchange contracts which are available for trading. Then need to place the hedging proposal to the management, and of course board approval will be required before commencing. That is very important. And then finally, after the board approval has been received, one needs to open an account with the MCX member or commodity broker, or can also come directly to the exchange platform. Now, benefits of hedging on MCX. Basically, these contracts are very much suited to the corporate requirements. So, for example, for the base metal contracts, we have listed that in the 5 metric ton for the aluminum, lead, nickel, and zinc. For the crude oil contract, it is in 100 barrels, which is very convenient for mid-size and large corporates to hedge. These energy contracts are cash settled contracts, and the forex risk is also inbuilt into the prices of the MCX crude contract, because the contract is a mirror contract of the international contract. So if the price of crude oil is trading at $60 per barrel, we will multiply by the rupee or the INR rate, and that conversion price is traded on MCX platform. So whatever price movement takes place not only in the commodity but also in the currency can be actually locked in by trading on MCX platform. Now the timing is also suited for the domestic requirement. The exchange commences trading for market players from 9 o'clock in the morning and goes up to 11:30 in the night and 11:55 in winter, 11:30 in summers. So the entire more than 12 hours trading is available for market participants. Now, as far as the daily price limit is concerned, if there is any fluctuation in the international market, the exchange has got set fixed daily price limits to protect the investors from wide fluctuations. So if the international market, there is a movement of say 8 to 10% or more than that, based on the daily price limit, the exchanges will open the parameters for trading. Now, as far as the liquidity is concerned, and the low impact cost, which can be seen of 0.01% in the crude oil and the natural gas contract, because the contracts are highly liquid and good volume is observed for trading in these contracts. So the corporates can have an easy entry and exit into these contracts for trading or for hedging purpose. Now, as far as the crude oil contract is concerned, the average daily the yearly volume which can be seen is basically to the tune of 25 million barrels, which is again 4 to 5 times the consumption of the country. So that is the amount of liquidity which the platform generates for trading, and there is very smooth entry and exit. So the bid and ask is also very fine. So you can also have a very smooth entry and exit into the contract. Now, as far as the natural gas contract is concerned, that also contract has good amount of liquidity, which can be seen with the last 6 years volume, which is close to 90 million MMBTU, which is a very healthy volume figure for trading and also for a smooth entry and exit into the contract. Now, a very important aspect which I wanted to talk about is the correlation. Since this MCX crude oil contract moves in line with the international market, which is an IMEX WTI crude oil contract, so the correlation is nearly 99%. So if any of the corporates wants to hedge their crude oil exposure using the byproducts, who are using the byproducts can actually lock in this their risk exposure by hedging in the contract because of the high correlation. Then we have the WTI, which is the US crude, and the Brent crude, which is the ICE crude, UK crude, North Sea if you like. And there also the correlation between the Brent contract and the WTI contract is 97%. So any of the imports which are coming into the country from any of the from any country outside any country across the world, whether it is crude oil or natural gas, can be used to hedge this contract, their risk exposure either in the crude oil contract or in the natural gas contract. Now, for example, the imports which are coming in for natural gas are from Qatar, Russia, Australia, and other countries. Now they are linked to the crude oil prices. So if any movement takes place in the natural gas price, which are linked to the international crude prices, they can be hedged using the MCX crude oil contract. Even the natural gas prices are very much correlated, highly correlated to the CME group Henry Hub contract, the natural gas contract. So there also we see a lot of trading which is happening place in the international market and also on the domestic exchange on MCX. Now, this is one important slide which I want to highlight because here what we have is basically the products which are listed on the first column, in the first column, which is furnace oil. Now, in this contract, in this commodity, you can actually, these corporates who are in the glass manufacturing, forging, steel companies, textile manufacturing, can actually lock in the price of furnace oil by hedging in the crude oil contract because of the high correlation which is observed of nearly 94%. Even for the logistics and transportation companies who are using diesel can use the crude oil contract because the correlation is very high. For petrochemical companies and natural gas producers, they require naphtha. They also can use the contract because of the high correlation. Even the airline companies and refiners can lock in the aviation turbine fuel, the jet fuel, because of the high correlation there as well. So as you can see that across commodities of the byproducts of crude oil, various companies can hedge using the correlation model or the hedging model using the MCX crude contract. Now here I have here we have depicted the crude oil prices in the orange line, in the thick line which can be seen, and you can see that you can observe that the price trend of all the byproducts of crude oil are moving in line or in tandem with the crude oil prices. So based on that, we can see that the correlation is very high between the mother product, which is crude oil, and the byproduct, which are furnace oil, light diesel oil, naphtha, toluene, etc. Now, this is a snapshot which we have placed of the trading overview. Now, here we can see the view, the terminal which is listed, where you can see the contract listed is crude oil. The maturity or the expiry is given over here. And then we have the buy price, sell price, buy quantity, sell quantity, and the percentage change and the net change. So this is just for your reference, the screenshot of the view terminal or the trading terminal. Now, exchange also has also levies transaction charges for the for hedging on the in the commodity contracts, which is if you have an average daily turnover of 350 rupees, 350 crores. Up to 350 crores, then there is a 260 rupees per crore turnover which is levied, and for an incremental turnover of about 350 rupees, 350 crores, you can actually see the transaction charges of 175 rupees per crore is being levied by the exchange for trading in its futures contract. As far as the trading in options contract is concerned, in the crude oil contract, there is no transaction charges. The exchange has waived off the transaction charges from the last 1 year. So you can see, you can take benefit of either hedging in the futures contract or trading in the, or hedging in the options contract. Now, there are very important mechanisms here, which I would like to highlight, that before you want to participate on the exchange, there are some do's and don'ts which are very critical. So if any of the corporate or any member or any of the uh, participants want to hedge, they need to come through a registered member of the exchange or a broker member of the exchange. You very important to fill your KYC form provided by your mobile number and email ID, and also read the risk disclosure document and rights and obligation of the investor. So this is very important to know before starting hedging or trading on the FTX platform. So there are also some don'ts which are very important, which needs to be entailed into the market while before trading. Do not be influenced by the indicative returns and do not get carried away by luring advertisement or any hot tips, and do not make payments in cash. That is very important. And you need to track the physical market, track the economy, and know the financial limits and risk profile. Now, a regulatory boost for hedgers, which the government has provided, is the income tax exemptions. Exemptions for hedging under Finance Act, which is the section 43(5), which effectively means that the business profit losses can be offset by losses or profits undertaken in the commodity derivative transaction. Now, this is a very important tool, or you would say it attracts for risk management for on the recognized commodity derivative exchange and incentivizes hedging. So hedgers are no longer forced to undertake physical delivery of the commodities in order to prove the transactions for hedging and it is not for speculation. Now, another regulatory boost is that hedgers to take position can extend their position over and above the prescribed position limit in the contract by writing into the exchange based on the format prescribed by the exchange. So with this, we can see that the importance of risk management or commodity risk management, which is available on the MCX platform, which is very important in terms of whether you're trading in bullion contract, you're trading on the base metal, the metal contract, or the energy contracts. So exchange can you can actually take benefit from these contracts for either for trading purpose, or you can also utilize this contract by the corporates can take benefit by hedging in these contracts because they are very suitable for hedging because they are linked to the international market. The bullion contracts and the base metal contracts are now domestically priced, so they are very much linked to the domestic market. So there we have many big names in the bullion industry who are hedging on the platform, and also the corporates in the base metal industry who are hedging on the platform, and also in the energy contract. So all in all, what we wanted to highlight to you is that this risk management is the need of the hour, and you can actually partake of the benefits of trading through the exchange platform. Thank you. So I would request any queries or any questions you may have on the presentation. You can please request members any questions on the presentation or anything on the commodity market which you would like to.
Thank you, Ashish ji, for your good presentation. May we have a few questions from you on the topic today?
Sure. Yeah, please. Yeah. Yes, Kunal ji, please go. Hello.
Sir, one of the question by CA Govind Sharan is, what are the brief practical issues of commodity market and how CA can assist to clients in it?
Yes, sir. One is very important. One important aspect. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yeah. So, sir, one important aspect is what exchange, from an exchange perspective under SEBI has done is that, first of all, it has streamlined many areas on the commodity platform, and also has brought about very changes in the risk management, and also on the protection for investors, and also for the for trading perspective and for corporates. So the what we would also see is that there are many awareness programs which MCX undertakes for various associations and corporate bodies, and for retail investors and traders, so that they can understand the contract in a very simple manner, and so that they can benefit. Now, for the chartered account community, what is the one definitely, because of the kind of knowledge and the background which you carry along with you on this finance markets and capital market and other markets, currency or commodity, uh, you could definitely uh, entail or have a dialogue with these mid-sized corporates or big corporates, who can actually uh, you know come onto the platform, because there are as we displayed that there are many contracts which we cater to, whether it is a jeweler, it is a base metal company, or it is an energy company. So all these corporates in your regions or across India who are exposed to these raw material prices, or the crude oil prices, or any of the commodity prices, you could suggest to them or advise to them that you can come up with these hedging strategies, or you could actually see how you can advise them on the coming onto the platform, so that they can partake the benefits of hedging. So from MCX side, we would request that if there could be more and more uh, joint webinars as such, where we can create more awareness among participants and corporates, and of course with the guidance and ages of the ICAI, where we can get them on the platform for hedging instead of going abroad for hedging, which is involves cost and risk.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Our next question, before taking the questions, I would like to share some of my thoughts or committee initiatives with the viewers. Sir, this year, committee has planned so many things in the capital market. With the very first meeting of the committee, as chairman rightly said, that derivative is nowadays is allowed by practicing chartered accountant for own purposes. So it's a good step taken by the committee this year. Apart from these two, this derivative decision is an opportunity for me as a secretary to the Committee for Capital Market and Investors Protection to share with the viewers that committee has two very prestigious courses. One is Forex and Treasury Management. Another is on derivatives. It's a very good certificate course, being supported by many times by the PSUs and corporates. We run these certificate courses by conducting by ourselves. Our members join the certificate course. Popularly, these are mainly conducted in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Calcutta, Bangalore, Hyderabad. But this is an opportunity for us this time, because we could have done this through virtual mode also. So this year we have received response from remote areas as well, apart from these metro cities. So, and we conducted exclusively Forex and Treasury Management program for HPCL, for Bharat Petroleum, for GAIL and many other corporates. So similarly, if the viewers are from any of the PSU, we are open to provide this customized course to these PSUs or corporates wherever it is needed. Similarly, we can do for derivatives also. Apart from these two certificate courses, we have developed two new courses. One is on fundamental and technical analysis, another on security laws. So we are in process to come out with these two certificate courses. And I think wholehearted support would be provided by members and other stakeholders. I would request my colleagues, Mr. Kunal Sharma, to receive feedback what we are doing for our forex and treasury management and for our derivatives. Very shortly, within this week itself, we would be circulating a mass mail to our members. Those who are interested in forex and treasury management or in derivative, they can provide their valuable inputs to us how to improve the course curriculum if needed. If something is needed, it would be based on their feedbacks. An expert committee would evaluate the feedback so received, and based on that feedback, we would be updating, because education or professionalism remains when you keep yourself update every time. So based on the feedback of the members at large, welcome, Chairman sir. With your kind permission, I'm continuing, and after that you can take up some questions. So, Chairman sir, I was telling that I requested to Kunalji that we will receive feedback on our forex and treasury management and derivative course from the members at large. We will be circulating a mass mail, and we will hopefully we will receive a good number of suggestions, and based on that suggestion, an expert committee would be there in ICI level, and we will evaluate, and wherever required, we will change our course curriculum. Other two courses also, we will be sharing the structure, because we don't want impose any course or certificate, or it should not be a one-way communication. It should be a demand side management. It's a good approach nowadays. So you should learn what is the demand of the industry. We will be reaching to the industry. MCX can be one of the partner for this assessment, because they are in industry, they understand this subject, they can help us out. So we will reaching to BSc, we will be reaching to NSC, and we will receive the suggestions, we will compile it. We want a vibrant kind of system, because it's only possible because of the chairman, the dynamic chairman, C. Anuj Goyal ji, because he has given his visionary thought process in very first meeting. Let me share with you that in very first meeting, he draw the whole action plan for the year. He reads 10 years of the minutes. He reads the whole structure. Then only he prepares the action plan. He is the person who drives the committee in one meeting. So the visionary chairman has given us this thought process. We would be reviewing the feedback. We will be developing the course curriculum, and we will be revising the course curriculum wherever it is required. Apart from these certificate courses, what Honorable Chairman has given us direction that we generally do investor awareness program. Ashish ji, you will also endorse my views that at MCX level, you must have done thousands of the investor awareness program. But somehow there is a need, or it's a greed from my side, I think, we should have some grievances redressal camps, because speaking something, giving the information is at one hand, it's very good part, but at the same time, if we are not redressing the actual problem of the investor, we are not justifying with the investor awareness project. This is mandated by the Company Act. We have to address the grievances. Although awareness is required, precaution is better than cure. So awareness is required. I 100% agree. But at the same time, if we want to win the trust of our investors, we must have investor grievances camps. So, and that line only, we have planned this year 30 mega this capital market conclave, wherein Honorable Chairman has decided various cities where it's feasible because of locality and flight connectivity and number of other stakeholders. Because what we are thinking, I would request MCX officials to, I would be visiting very shortly,
Sure, sir.
Very shortly we would be visiting to your office,
Sure.
and we seek your kind support in form of faculty or some institute had a provision, and we are trying our level best to have a mega kind of event. 30 big shows would be there, where at one roof you would have a grievance redressal camps. You would be having a technical session at the other side, and third form you would be having your stalls where you can sell your products, not a particular product, but you can brief about the products. What is mutual fund, what is MJ, what is equity, what is derivative. So various combination we have this time evolved, and we are trying our level best to keep all these a multi-track conference kind of system. We are trying to, so our conference brochure is almost on finalization, and next week, with the kind permission of the Honorable Chairman, I may be visiting to MCX, BSc and NSC, and we seek your kind support, sir. So, Chairman, sir, in between, I request you to take up questions, and if you want to share some of your thoughts to the viewers about the initiatives of the capital market and the research committee also, because you are the chairman of oldest committee, one of the oldest technical committee of ICI, the research committee. So, Honorable Chairman, you can share your views.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Amit Agarwal ji. I think it was a wonderful delegation by Ashish Bhaktani ji, product manager MCX, and we look forward for greater contribution of Ashish ji. And friends, we are trying our level best to see that the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, who are undoubtedly the best accounting professionals across the globe, and who are having the expert knowledge, I think the best professional as for the capital market are,
Yeah, Chairman, sir, we can have a panel discussion of things. So I would request to hosting branch office BRS who are online, may kindly put their video on, so we can have a panel discussion. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I think the chartered accountants are contributing like anything in the attest function, in the compliance work. But now the time has come when the chartered accountants has to understand their real value. And friends, believe me, chartered accountants can really do wonders in the field of capital market, whether they are practicing chartered accountant, whether they are in employment. And in addition to that, you must be aware that a chartered accountant, besides being in practice, can be the whole-time director in a management consultancy, private limited company or LLP. And a chartered accountant can very well draw the salary, say 1 lakh rupees per month or 10 lakh rupees per month, from that management consultancy, private limited company, besides being the proprietor or partner in a chartered accountant firm. And he will be treated as full-time practitioner. So the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the Committee on Capital Market and Investor Protection, is quite proactive. I was just discussing in the beginning that the first decision which ICI has taken in this year, our Committee on Capital Market and Investors Protection has taken a decision that income from derivatives, from equity derivatives, will be allowed to a practicing chartered accountant, and that income can be in crores also. And I think it would be very, very useful for the chartered accountants who are having interest in the capital market. And I do know lot number of chartered accountants who are only dealing in the capital markets and are doing really wonders. I think the investors' protection, the interest of the investors can be protected by the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India like anything, whether the chartered accountants are there in MCX, whether the chartered accountants are there in any other organization. And as I am the chairman of the research committee also, and I will be taking this opportunity to have the attention of the members who are present in this virtual CP meeting, that as the ICI is the largest accounting body of the second largest accounting body of the world, and we are producing the best accounting professionals across the globe. So I think now the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I think the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India can very well contribute in the research activities. Research is supposed to be the backbone of any organization, particularly educational institute, and when you are producing the best accounting professionals across the globe and you are practically the largest accounting body, I think it becomes further more important. And last year, when I got this opportunity to head the oldest technical committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Research Committee, which was formed way back in 1955, we took some great initiative in spite of the corona, in spite of the pandemic. We were successful in implementing those initiatives. We introduced ICI Research Project Scheme 2020, in which we decided that the chartered accountants who are having the inclination in the field of the research, and even those who are not chartered accountants but are having good research background, can have the research projects which are good for the profession, which are good for the nation. We are reimbursing up to 10 lakhs of rupees for the research project, and there is no honorarium. A lot number of chartered accountants have come forward and have not accepted even the reimbursement of expenses. And friends, believe me, we only accepted 7 research projects last year, because the pandemic was there, corona was there, and all 7 research projects were completed within given time frame of 6 months. And all the research projects were on those topics which were very, very good for the profession, which were very, very good for the nation. Whether it was for the Atmanirbhar Bharat of the Prime Minister Modi, or whether it was in the direction of 5 trillion economy mission of the Prime Minister Modi, or whether it was towards import substitution industries or export oriented units. So I will request all our honorable chartered accountants who are present with us in this virtual CP program, the members of the Bareilly branch, member of the Uttar Pradesh, member of the Central region, from each and every part of the world who are present with us, to please come forward and participate in the ICI Research Project Scheme 2021. And it is open around the year. It is open around the year. And all the details are very well available on the ICI website also, and otherwise also we will be sending it to each and every participant who are present with us in this.
These participants, as well as a mass mail is being sent to all the members, as well as we have requested all the branches to put on their website. This is a very, very, very prestigious scheme by the ICI. In the history of the ICI, after more than 7 decades, first time under the able guidance of Honorable Chairman C. Anuj Goyal, we came out with this scheme. First time in the history of any accounting profession, we have launched this ICI International Research Award, wherein Dr. Inkiju, immediate past president of IFAC, was the jury chairman. And you would be surprising that there were 5 jury members. All are leading accountants from respective accounting bodies of that country. Some may be from PAFA, some may be from CAPA, some may be from IFAC. The immediate chairman, the current chairman, Alan Johnson, was the jury member, and Dr. Inkiju are the IFAC. This is the beauty of composition of the people. We received 100 nominations out of 14 countries. And it was a wonderful program. It was first time in the history of accounting profession, that International Research Award. And we are proud to be a chartered accountant, ICI chartered accountant, who hosted this program first time in the history of ICI. So this is only because of the visionary chairman, C. Anuj Goyal ji.
And in addition to that, we have come forward with the ICI doctoral scheme, in which the young chartered accountants up to age of 40 years can come forward, and if they want to go for the doctoral, for the PhD, and on full-time basis, then they can come forward and can join this ICI doctoral scheme on the topics which are good for the profession, which are good for the nation. And we are having only 5 seats for the ICI doctoral scheme, so there is very, very tough competition among the chartered accountants, because we want the best of the researchers in this ICI doctoral scheme, which are interested to contribute on full-time basis in the research.
Chairman sir, for this doctoral scheme, I would like to share a few of my thoughts here. That's in doctoral scheme. The very purpose of this scheme is, I have received so many queries. Why it is up to 40 years? Why for young chartered accountant? Why not for senior members? So let me clarify it again. Sir, this scheme is to compensate the opportunity of a young accountant. Because if a person who qualifies the chartered accountancy, the toughest exam of the world, if after passing that exam, if spending more time, 3 years or 4 years, on further research, it's sometimes it's very, very, very difficult proposition. So, keeping in view all these things, and to compensate that career and really want to contribute and want to make a contribution into the society in form of a research. So real researchers are kindly invited to join this scheme, and institute would be providing 50,000 per month up to 3 years and contingency grant of 50,000 per year, and so all necessary support would also be provided. Because if you are pursuing a doctorate, being a research scholar, I completed my PhD in 2005. I was UGC scholar. So sometimes if you receive a scholarship from a prestigious institution, definitely your PhD becomes more meaningful. So I would request all my young chartered accountants, my members, our honorable members of the institute, who want to contribute to the society in field of the research, and really want to interest, it should be a full-time research and topics pertaining to the profession. So I would humbly request all the viewers, if they are interested, or they can disseminate this information to the members at large. And wherever you are in an academics or you are in touch with an academician, with folded hands, I request all the viewers to please disseminate this information. It's a very beautiful program. It's the Council of ICI, led by President, Vice President, and the doctoral scheme. Over to Chairman, sir.
Yeah, rightly told by Dr. Amit Agarwalji. And friends, let me tell you, the chartered accountants can really do wonders. Whether it is the research activity, whether the capital market is there, in the education field, if one of the most prominent universities of the world is there, it is, I think, the Manipal University, and it is headed by none other than our own member. So the chartered accountants are at the top in the capital market. Chartered accountants are at the top in the research, also in the educational field also. So I know the chartered accountants who are the best professionals can be the backbone for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And I was just discussing with Amity that how the chartered accountants can play a very, very proactive role in the field of capital market. The compliance, the traditional fields of the attest function are not having so much revenue and there is stiff competition there. The cake is small, and of course, the number of chartered accountants are increasing. The chartered accountants are coming in practice like anything. So I think over the years, chartered are towards consultancy, towards business solution provider. The role of the chartered accountant is now more is as a business solution provider, and the role of the chartered accountants doing compliance work, doing a test function is now very limited. And in this Corona, our members Institute of Chartered Accountants of India have proven that how we can convert this great threat of pandemic into the opportunity. Now, sitting at Bareilly, sitting in any nook and corner of the country at a smaller place, I think we can contribute. We are contributing for each and every economy, whether these are the Gulf countries or the Western countries or the United States of America. So knowledge sourcing is the chartered accountants like anything. And when we are getting our consultancy in dollars, so there is always better opportunity, greater opportunity than the opportunities in which we are getting our compensation in rupees. So I will request even the chartered accountants who are sitting at the smaller places, by using the technology, I think we can very well deliver the goods for each and every economy of the world. Practically no economy of the world can really go ahead unless and until there is very active contribution of the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And friends, let me tell you, if India is going to supersede China in the times to come, I think it is only and only because of the very active contribution of the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Gulf countries are having very good GDP, and they are treated as the developed countries, in spite of the fact that they are having lot number of constraints. There is no manufacturing activity, and other problems are also there. Democracy is not there. But more than 15,000 chartered accountants are there who are working day and night for the development of the economy of the Gulf countries, and indirectly from our India, from our own country, 20,000 chartered accountants to the Gulf countries. So I am quite confident that all of us will certainly see that how we can adjust ourselves in the new role which is there for the chartered accountants, whether it is in the equity market, IPO, insolvency, lot number of things are there. Amitji want to say something?
Yeah, Chairman, sir, in between, if we skip, because time is a constraint and lot of things we want to share viewers. Let your chairman, my chairman, C. Anuj Goyal ji, has this time suggested in his action plan of the committee for the year that we will have capital market forum at each of the town or city wherever we have a group of our members. So an opportunity is being given by this committee this time. Any member who wants to contribute for the profession in the capital market or having the interest may kindly write us on CCMIP, that CCMIP at ICI.in, that this is the qualification of the member, this is the area of interest, what they have yet contributed, till date what they have contributed, and if they want to associate it in the forum, we are more than happy. We will have interactive dialogue, because it's that we are a profession, although we are a statutory body set up by an act of parliament, we are the regulators of the profession of chartered accountancy and administered by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But at the same time, we are the professional institution, and professional institute grows when we keep ourselves open to receive new ideas, fresh airs. And this is the visionary chairman, C. Anuj Goyal, who has thought this process, because he has ample experience. He has 15 years in the council. It's the fifth term of him in the council as a central council member and chairman of various of the committees. And he has contributed in the regional council as a chairman, and 6 years in the branch. So whole of his life he has contributed for the profession. That's why that brings the knowledge and the expertise and the vision. So his whole experience has converted in form of this these kind of ideas, which one cannot reject your thought process, that please reach to the member and listen their voice, how we can grow. Because we are a professional institution, until unless we are open to receive the suggestions, or we are open to receive the criticism, we will be improving if we receive the suggestion. So we welcome all the members who are interested in the capital market or in the research committee, because sir is the chairman of both the committees. Fortunately, I am your service as a secretary to both the committees, as a research committee or capital market committee. We welcome your views. We honestly request you all the viewers, and you can spread this, disseminate this information to the members at large, and any expert who wants as a research dialogue forum or capital market forum, we would be receiving suggestions from you, and need be, if some physical meetings is required, we would be coming at your door. Chairman would be coming, our vice chairman would be coming, our committee members would be coming, or my colleagues would be available. We want to bring a change in the capital market scenario. We want to be a leader from as a think tank of the government or all the stock market regulators and exchanges. We want to be their think tank, and we cannot do with a stand of 10 people or 20 people, but we have a stand of 330,000 members. So with these views, we can do some wonders. Honorable Chairman.
So, I think we can contribute as a research analyst. We can, of course, discuss the things in detail later on. But some of the things which chartered accountants now is doing in the capital market as market risk manager, lot number of chartered accountants are there as market risk manager, monitor, identify, measure, analyze, and mitigate market risks. Mutual fund manager, yeah.
My chairman is very miser in disseminating his information, because he is the visionary. He don't want to disseminate this information by his own word. But let me take this opportunity to give you one more opportunity. It's the chairman who has decided this year that the SEBI conducts one very prestigious investor advisor kind of certification. So we have to reach because our members is having that much of experience, and apart from their CA qualification, we are providing them forex and treasury, we are providing them derivatives. So we are customized a program wherein the SEBI registered investor investor advisor conducts they pass some certification. So we are thinking to create a certification by ICI, so that, because SEBI it may be difficult for SEBI to reach lakhs of people, but it is very easy for ICI to reach more than 3 lakhs people in one go. So we are trying our level best to get it certified or equivalency from the SEBI for such kind of courses. Hopefully MCX also have their academy, like BSc and NSC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ashish?
Yes, sir. We have the investor.
So we can have. We can have that kind of. So who is heading your investor cell, sir?
Sir, we have Neetu Juneja, who is heading the investor cell.
Okay, so Ashish, I would be in touch with you, and I will be shortly reaching to you for this particular purpose. And let me handle some of the queries, because it's a curiosity of the members who has attended. Some subject matter questions are there, so I would request you to please answer few of the queries. There are a lot of questions there, and what. So one question is, management is basically the art of getting things done by delegating authority and responsibility of middle level and lower level by top management in risk management. If all decisions are taken at the top level by BOD, then how you can assess the performance of subordinate, achieve the objective of efficiency and effectiveness?
Right, sir. Sir, as far as this is concerned, the efficiency or of a hedging program or a hedging model can be ascertained basically by drafting out a very good hedging policy. Uh, by drafting out a very good hedging policy, which will entail not only identifying of the risk exposure, but will also on the quantity and the amount of risk exposure which the corporates are having. Now, if this hedging policy is in place, is in perspective, then it will definitely go a long way in getting the it will go in a long way in getting the approval of the board. So though the board is taking the major decisions, but ultimately the senior management and the middle management play a very important role in devising the hedging policy. So that is the first step, and that is the most important step for a corporate to enter into risk management. Thank you.
Yes. We are having some queries. I think Amit ji is having some queries.
Yeah.
Whether Rishikesh, Mr. Rishikesh is there, whether MCX has products for hedging strain monomer.
I'm sorry, for hedging, sir? Which products, sir?
Whether MCX has products for hedging.
HF product hedging, synergy movements.
No, as of now, we have not looked at it in that perspective. But yes, if there is any requirement, then we can consider that and we look into that, sir.
Yeah, sir, some of the, I think there is some difficulty by viewers in PPT. So with your permission, can we share your PowerPoint presentation to the viewers if they so desires?
Yes, sir. We have, I have shared the PPT.
So all the viewers, our office would be sending you the PowerPoint presentation if you, in case you couldn't view. But I think you have listened it, and PPT we would be sharing shortly.
Yeah. One question is from Mr. Samsad. He also asking for the presentation, and then we are having one question from Ashish Gupta, whether the concept of value at risk is used at MCX. Whether the concept of value at risk is used at MCX.
Yes, sir. We are following the VAR margin and also using the span margin for calculation based on the international methodology which is being followed worldwide. So yes, we are using VAR and we are also using the span margins.
Yeah, one question. Amit, you want to say something?
Sir, I have certain queries out of this discussion or the general curiosity. There are certain customized program on commodity derivatives. So basically, I think it's for farmers and the person or industries who are in hedging or in kind of thing. So can we have a collaboration? Because our member, we are at Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, and we have a privilege that any industry, irrespective of its size, we are auditor or we are advisor, but somehow we are associated with it. So can we have a collaboration, and can we reach to larger community? Because our chartered accountant is there, but they can be trainer, they can be think tank, they can be advisor. But those who really require this information about the MCX or about the commodity, about the derivatives.
Right.
So can we have a collaboration? We want to do some thousands of the programs across the country.
Right.
We want to reach to block level, Gram Panchayat level. Right. Because for a developed country, the exchanges or capital market is very much important. Let me start with a brief. Although all viewers are mostly the chartered accountants, they don't require this knowledge. But for preparing a civil services exam, generally they are being asked, the students are being asked to prepare for NCERT books. So I am giving one example. For any investment, I think the capital market, if capital market grows, your economy will be automatically grow. Because if the corporate culture means expertise knowledge, if I remember rightly, when I was in 11th class, I was being taught that companies are meant, it's a new form of organization. Earlier it used to be a proprietorship or partnership generally. Then company came into existence. Why company came to existence? Company came to existence to have professional expertise. And in form of stocks, you can invest your small savings. You can buy 1 share, you can buy 2 shares, you can buy 1,000 shares. But a larger community, retail investor is the backbone of any developed capital market. It's not FNI. It's always better if you have a bigger chunk of retail investor in your capital market. So through these programs, through these chartered accountants, we can collaborate. We can reach to the grassroots level. We can reach to the Gram Panchayat level. We can reach to hard to reach areas. And the concept is a very fantastic concept. The very purpose of this capital market was to bring the professionalism in the business. Your small retail saving can contribute, and if clubbed at one place, and your professional experience bring expertise in the business. With your small savings and expertise knowledge, you can grow, and in form of dividend you will receive your returns. So that way, एक कहावत है, जॉब का काम उसी को साजे, means the expert will do the real job, the retailer will invest their fund, and in return they will find their dividends and returns. So these are, I think, we can join hand with the MCX. Sure. I think we can join hands.
Sure, sir. We can explore that. Definitely, sir.
Question 34, Ashish Gupta. No, practical issue. One question is from, thank you, Amijit, Jitendra Gada. Practical issues of commodity when market is dependent mainly on imports. Ashish ji.
Right.
Practical issues of commodity when market is dependent mainly on imports.
Right, sir. Sir, definitely on this front, whether be it the imports of metals or be it imports of any energy products or any crude oil or natural gas which we are importing, this hedging model or risk management can be definitely utilized by the importers when they are bringing in any commodity into the country, and they can lock in their price in advance, so that they can benefit of any price fall. If they have locked in at say higher price and the prices fall by the time they reach the country, they can lock in this prices by hedging using the commodity contracts. Yes, definitely, sir. So this is something which we can definitely work on, sir.
Yeah, thank you. One query is from Mr. Pramod Nair. Does MCX trade contracts on steel as well? If not, is there any other contract that will mirror price movements in steel?
Sir, as of now, we have not got any steel contract listed. Earlier, we had the Gobindgarh contract, but now we have discontinued that. But we are looking at some options where we can look at bringing the steel contract. But apart from that, there is no contract as of now which is mirroring the steel contracts.
Right. Mr. Nagarajan, can you explain the role of chartered accountants in commodity market apart from investing? Is there any certification role available?
Yes, sir. We have the commodity market participants, which is basically the in-house exchange certification, And also the SEBI has designed a plan which you can manage.
Yeah, thank you. Then Mr. Bhaskar Gandhi, how is income tax taxation of MCX futures? How is income tax taxation of MCX futures is the same as NSE equity futures?
Yes, sir. In terms of there is this commodity transaction tax which is there in the CTT, which is there in the component which is there in the commodity trading, apart from the other taxes. But yes, similar procedure is being followed. But as far as the section 43(5) is also being provided to the commodity participants or the corporates who are having physical exposure in the commodity. So that incentive is being provided under section 43(5) of the Finance Act under Income Tax Act 1960. Yes. So the lines is similar where you can look at taxing the commodity market or security market. So the CTT is one component which is the main part.
And I think one question which is not very relevant to this topic, Mr. S. Sivaraman, whether Amitji will like to answer or our Honorable Resource Person will like to answer. I have a question which is completely different from the current topic regarding the portfolio management scheme, PMS, offered by NBFCs. The context of the question is that one of the NBFC player obtained enrollment in a PMS, giving impression of growing the capital invested for a duration of 3 years. The player also has been charging his necessary fee on a quarterly basis. Now, at the end of the due period, the original capital has eroded despite the stock indices almost doubling. The question is, what are the remedies available to the PMS depositor? Kindly advise the necessary forum if this is not the appropriate forum. Yeah.
Sir, Ashiji, would you be replying or I should have?
Sir, request your side, sir, your expertise on that.
Yeah, sir, this is NBFC issue. So there are two regulators involved. One is banking. So RBI is the right forum where one can, there is a grievances redressal mechanism at RBI level. And I have noted down your email ID. We would be sharing with you the correct email ID of the RBI. And second forum is the score of the SEBI. A portal is there by SEBI. Score is the name of that portal, wherein you can register your complaint, and I think amicable solution you will receive from SEBI.
Yeah, thank you. And then one small query. Sir, can you please enlighten us about the Bitcoin? I don't know whether it is a relevant one, but can you enlighten a little bit about Bitcoin?
So that being a separate segment, separate exchange, so will not be.
Yeah, we will have a separate webinar on this.
Briefly, we can
cryptocurrency. Yeah, because we have to see that how we can handle.
Yeah. So one question is on these certificate course online. Yes, of course. These are offline as well as online, and next batch is planned on 17th of April. Forex and Treasury Management and derivatives also. And there are some members from UAE also. To see them is very pleasant. We are having one certificate course exclusive for UAE participants also. Very shortly, you will receive the mass mails posting on the ICA websites.
I think we will be taking the last question of Srinivas Kulkarni. How can an investor have access to historical data from MCX, for example, prices, historical, etc. for modeling?
Yes, sir. On MCX platform, sir, we have the historical prices in a monthly format. So you can definitely log into our website and use under market data. You can, under that tab, there is historical tab data is provided. So you can definitely month-wise download the data and use it for historical data for modeling.
Yeah. So, Riteshji, Do we have the presence of Sarthak Agrawal, Vice Chairman?
सर अभी वो यहाँ पे चले गए, अभी नहीं है।
Okay. And before the vote of thanks and concluding remarks by Ritesh Agrawal ji, so may I request Dr. Amit Agrawal ji to please throw some light on our certification courses, which are very, very important certification courses, and why these certification courses are very, very important for the chartered accountants, and particularly those chartered accountants who are comparatively younger in the age.
Yeah.
So because the capital market is the field of the youngsters, and I think we should certainly come forward for these certification courses to sharpen our skills in the field of the capital market. Dr. Amit Agrawal ji.
Sir, nowadays, let me start with these keywords. Nowadays, it's a matter of expertise. Earlier the days, we were discussing in a very important meeting that 80% of the chartered accountants were in practice. And nowadays, the ratio is, if we see the newly qualified chartered accountant of past 5 years, you will find that 80% of the chartered accountants are now in industry. So the complete scenario is going to be changed. And industry has its own peculiar features. It's a time of expertization. For a practicing chartered accountant, they should know each and every aspect. GST, tax, direct taxes, and compliances, Company Act, MC, many things. But for a industry people, although they are equally competent, but for reaching at the height, they need some specialization. Keeping in view all these things, the committee has bring out these two certification courses, Forex and Treasury Management and Derivatives. I believe if a young chartered accountant want to pursue or want to make their career in the field of capital market or in treasury of any bank or Forex domain of a banking system or any industry hedging kind of thing or risk manager, kind of a risk manager. So these two certificate courses are definitely going to help them out because very, very learned speakers and experts has drawn these certificate course. They have developed these certificates and we are keep updating our certificate courses. This is the only Institute of Chartered Accountant of India where the certificate course are being conducted on cost to cost basis. We are not a profit making organization. So our mandate is to help the society at large. The Constitution of India and the Parliament of the India way back in 1949 created one special purpose vehicle, the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, a statutory body set up an act of Parliament that is for giving a think tank. The responsibility was given as a think tank to the society. So our aim is to provide the knowledge base, and our members who pass this toughest exam of the world, if they receive some knowledge from the institute in form of certification courses, I think they can better contribute. So I think lot of things are there to share with you, but time is always a constraint and it's an evening time. Most of our members may be in hurry to go home or kind of thing. So with these words, I would request CA Ritesh Agrawal ji, Chairman, Secretary, Bareilly branch of CIC of ICI, for offering his concludatory remarks and formal vote of thanks. You are on mute. Ritesh sir, you are on mute.
Thanks, Amit ji. First of all, we are very thankful to our very beloved CA Anuj Goyal ji, Chairman Committee on Capital Market and Investor Protection, for arranging such a wonderful seminar. He is very close to all of us. हमारी ब्रांच के लिए तो वैसे भी हम लोग उनका इंतजार करते हैं कि यहाँ पे वो जल्दी आए. तो thank you so much, CA Anuj Goyal ji. We are also very thankful to today's session speaker, Mr. Ashish Bhattani ji, Product Manager, MCX India, for spare his precious time to us. His valuable inputs will help us a lot Thank you so much, Ashish ji. We are also very thankful to the entire team of CMIP, ICAI, especially Dr. Amit Kumar Agrawal ji, for arranging this seminar to us. And at last, we are very thankful to all the members present for joining the seminar at such a crucial time of 31st March. Thank you so much. Thanks. Amit ji.
So thank you, Ritesh ji. Thank you, our honorable guest speaker, Ashish Bhaktani sir, our product manager of MCX. And I'm really grateful to the host branch, Bareilly branch, all the viewers, and our honorable chairman of the Bareilly branch, Sudhir Malhotra sir, our honorable past chairman, Ritesh Agrawal ji, and Prakash Chand Sharma ji, Vice Chairman Sarthak Agrawal ji, and all other honorable managing committee members of the Bareilly branch. And I'm grateful to our honorable Vice Chairman of the committee, C.A. Jai Chhera sir, and all other honorable managing committee members, committee members of Committee on Investors Protection and Capital Market, and of course the President and Vice President for providing us the opportunity to see that how we can really try to do something concrete for the profession, for the nation, for the chartered accountants. And we are having the presence of Dr. Amit Agrawal, young and dynamic secretary of the committee, who is putting his best to see that how we can really do something very, very concrete for the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And of course, Kunal Sharma ji is here, senior officer of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, who is working day and night to really put his best to have the best out of this committee. So thank you very much, Ashish sir. Thank you very much, our honorable leaders from Bareilly branch. Dr. Amit Agrawal ji want to say something.
So Ritesh Agrawal ji, being you are the representative of the hosting branch as a past chairman and the secretary of the Bareilly branch, let me share with you now as a Bareilly branch, you usually welcome the members of Bareilly and surrounding area. This is the time when you are hosting an international webinar wherein you are receiving the response from UAE and other part of the world, not only country, yes, across almost all the states are covered by your branch. So it's a pride moment for us as well as for you to host this wonderful webinar on the very timely topic on this commodity market. So we are very much thankful to Ashish. We are very thankful for Ashish ji for providing his time, and mostly we are very much thankful for the viewers who has given a patience hearing. Thank you. Thanks to chair. Thanks to my colleagues who have supported. Thanks to MCX and the Bareilly branch for hosting this wonderful event. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, dear.
Very good evening.